Alright then guys, welcome to the video, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got another video of lots of little bits, but before we start I've got someone to introduce you to. This is Minnie, a little miniature Dachshund pup. There she is. She is the newest addition. We've had her since like July last year, but this is obviously her first time on the channel, so I thought I'd introduce her to you all. But also, I thought instead of it being little things we're doing to the car, because her name's Minnie, we're going to be doing mini mods to the cars today, and we've got stuff for both cars. So I'm going to get her inside out the cold, and I'll show you what we've got. First up, I've actually got some really cool mail that you guys have sent me. The fact that you guys even want to send me stuff is super rad. So first up, we've got this piece, which is so sick. It's like a drawstring bag with the Type R logo on it for the EP3. Apparently this was the bag that you could get when this car was actually brand new back in the day from Honda dealerships. It's like super official. It's got the actual Type R logo on it. Honda Power of Dreams written on it. Just a super cool piece. It's actually a really nice quality as well. It's got a bit of lining on the inside as well. So huge shout out to Jono for sending this to me. Can't believe it. That's just mad that he would actually want to send something so cool to me. So that's the first piece. The second piece is in this box, and again, just mental, the levels, because this is a strut tower bar for the S2000. How sick is this? So huge shout out to Chris for sending this out, and also for the hilarious note little piece that he's written on the address as well. We'll get on to fitting this later in the video, but first up before that, a front plate for this car. Now it looks so good without one, but obviously I need something. So a huge shout out to the brand new channel sponsor, Reg Plate King, for supplying me with a show plate for the front of this thing, running Reg Plate King's plates on, well, already on the back of this car. They were on the front on the standard bumper. I've got them on my girlfriend's car. Gonna get some for the Civic as well. And now what that means for you guys, if you go down to the links in the description and you need a plate for your car, whether it's a show plate, whether it's just standard plates, whatever, hit up Reg Plate King and use my code OLLY-EP3 to get 10% off your order as well. So let's get the plate on the front of the S2000. So I've got this plate here, and conveniently, because the Buddy Club sticker has been already measured to be directly in the middle, because obviously there's nowhere for the plate to go, you're kind of eyeballing it. So at least I have the Buddy Club sticker, something I can measure the middle against. Then we can do the peel, and the good thing as well is obviously because it's stuck down, I can take it off and swap it out as well. So a huge shout out once again to Reg Plate King for jumping on board and sponsoring the channel. And like I've already said, use the discount code OLLYP3 to save yourself 10% on the website. Links and socials will be all down below. Let's move on to the next thing. And that is, it is time to change the head unit in the EP3. Now I do have a full install video of how you install a double din in an EP3, which is actually one of my most popular videos, so shout out to you if you've watched that one. That was actually quite a few years ago now, so I guess this head unit is kind of a little bit out of date, but also one of my very good friends, Caddy, who you may know on YouTube as Cadicarus, swapped out one of his double dins for a much bigger unit for a van and said, do I want the other one? So I was like, absolutely. And this is a Kenwood unit. This is obviously a bit more expensive than the one I currently have in the car. So if you want my, I guess, few year review on this current one, it basically ticks all the boxes that you want it to, really. It's got CarPlay, you can take calls from it, and yeah, it works, I guess. The downsides for it, after living with it for a few years, and these obviously aren't big enough issues for me to actually change it until now, and obviously I haven't paid any money to change this, so obviously it wasn't that much of a big deal. But the boot time is a little bit slow because it's basically booting an Android tablet every time, so that takes a bit of a while. If you actually need to head off quickly, you've got to wait for it to boot to be able to get to CarPlay to launch and all that stuff, so that's a bit annoying. The volume, because obviously we've got a loud car, the max volume for the, like when you're on the phone, isn't loud enough to be able to hear people when you're at like motorway speeds or whatever. As well as that, one of the things you obviously want from one of these things is to get good audio out of it, and to be honest, the audio quality, I do have upgraded front speakers in this, and the audio quality is pretty poor. What I'm hoping this Kenwood unit is going to do is, I guess, rectify all of those issues for me. What I did end up realizing is, obviously with it being an Android tablet, it meant I could have had other apps on there. I never ended up needing to do that. I literally just want it for CarPlay. I don't even listen to the radio, so it's literally CarPlay or nothing. So this is a complete just plug in, plug out, straight swap. So if you want an actual install of how to do this, I'll put a link to my original video where I install this one, and that gives you a full walkthrough of everything. Things that I think are the same with this one, obviously because I've already got a head unit, I've got an adapter that means it should plug in straight into this, and I think the mic is going to be the same, so I don't have to run another microphone. What I will have to run is the USB port. You can see the cable here. I will need to rerun that. I'm going to get on with basically just stripping this down to be able to get this one out and that one in, but I'm going to fast forward through this. Right, that was obviously very crude and quick, and I've obviously left this cable in. This is because this is the USB port that I've run into the center console drawer piece, so I need to trace this back with the new one once I install that. So you're going to need to take this module out. It's all just Phillips head screws, so there's I think 3 that hold this in from memory. 1, 2 and 3 down there. Then you've got the 8 screws that hold in the head unit itself, and you should be able to just swap it straight over. I will just do a quick side-by-side of these actually. So as you can see, the current one is about 2/3, nearly half as big as the new one that's going in. The downside still is that these are still touch buttons. That's probably the only other thing I don't like about either of these, is there's no like physical volume knob, which is kind of annoying in like quick situations if you just want to quickly turn something down. So as you can see, you're using another bin to install this. Interestingly, because this one is so much shorter, I think, and I could be wrong at this point in time, but it looks like it's only going to mount into here using these back 2 holes, which aren't even lined up, which would be useful, wouldn't it? So this is going to take a bit of figuring out, so I'll get back to you once I've actually figured out how I'm going to mount this thing. And a few minutes later, boom, there we go. This thing is bolted down, just the 4 screws, everything's put back together. This is super easy job to do. So now it's time to get this back in the car and to run this cable, which I think is going to be the most annoying part of this whole thing. And if you're wondering what is happening with this, I'm not selling it. It's going to be going in my girlfriend's car. Right, so major challenge number 1 is actually going to be running this cable. So what I've done is I've taped the new cable to the old cable, and what I'm hoping I can do is just feed the old cable through and at least get this to almost all the way down to where it needs to go. So let's find out if that is even possible. I really hope this works, because this will make my life so much easier. And I have also checked, and the mic is the same, and that is incredible news, because that means I don't have to rerun that. So I really don't know if this is going to work, because the gap that this thing is coming through is so small. Because to run this, I actually took the center console piece out. So let's see what happens. But as this is impossible to show you, I'm just going to run this, and I'll get back to you when it's done, however long that takes. Sweet, so as you see, everything is all plugged back in. So if you are actually curious on how to run this cable into this little compartment, it's a bit of a mission. So I did end up actually taking the entire dash apart. So you have to remove this rear bit, there's screws on either side here, and then it clips in here. You pull out the ashtray thing here, there's a screw in there, take out everything in here, and then there's 2 10mm bolts holding this piece in. Then you've got some grommets down here on either side, and everything should then become free. It is very, very hard to show, which is why I didn't show any of the process. You feed the cable obviously down, it comes out around here, and then you pull it along. Where the drawer slides is a gap which you can force like between. So I got something I could just jam in there, create a hole big enough to be able to feed the cable through. That does make it sound a lot easier than it actually is, but that job alone took me longer than the entire process of swapping over the screens and everything. Either way, everything is now installed in the car, and as you can see, I put the faceplate on everything. Everything's plugged in, super simple, just plugging everything back in the way it went into the car. Right, let's do a real-time demonstration of how quick this thing is booting up. So phone's plugged in, obviously no power yet or anything. Turn the ignition on, you're gonna get the beeps. But then yeah, you get the Kenwood logo, phone starts charging, this message pops up. I need to figure out how to get rid of this message because it's very annoying. So what I do is put the phone in here, and oh look, already it's booted super fast and we're in. So there you go, this thing is installed. The only thing I've noticed, which I'm not a big fan of, is that you can see this plastic piece around the outside. It's almost like this screen is slightly too small, and you can kind of see down the edges and stuff. Doesn't bother me that much, and to be honest, you can hardly tell because it is in black that you can't really see down the side. So that's the only real thing. But this thing works perfectly. The mic works, the speaker system sounds a lot better because I've done some quick tests. Awesome. So yeah, looking forward to testing this actually when I'm driving the car and all that. But now let's move on to a quick something on the outside of the car. Next up is a super simple one, and something I have literally been living with the entire time I've owned this car. As you can see from the fuel filler door, I don't have anywhere to actually put the fuel filler cap, and I never have. And it wasn't until I got the S2000 and realized what I've been missing out on. I've literally, the entire time I've had this car, I've undone the fuel cap and just drooped it down the side of the car. Today, that is over. I haven't actually got an OEM replacement, but I've got a, what looks to be like a 3D printed piece I can just stick on that I got from Tegawa. So I'll leave a link for this down below. And yeah, super simple install. Even comes with a wipe to be able to wipe down where you're going to stick it down. It just sticks on with 3M tape, and I'm just going to use this. I probably could source an OEM one, but whatever. This should super simple. Just going to stick it on this sticker. Just clean this up. Not too bad. There we go. And peel that off. Right, let's see if it works. Oh, look at that. Very, very satisfying for me because I've never been able to do that with this car. So super happy about that. Simple, but gonna make my life so much easier. So there we go. That's the next piece down. Now let's talk about the strut brace for the S2000. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, my plan was to install this for maybe the first time ever. I did a test fit of this piece to just see how it lines up and everything, and it doesn't fit the best. I'm gonna have to trim down areas of it to get it to fit over the aircon pipes because this car does still have the aircon installed, and I'm not planning on deleting that anytime soon. So either I trim this down or maybe we just don't install it. I'm not sure at this point in time, but it also fouls on the K&N intake a little bit. I'll pop some pictures up. This is how it was fitting, and as you can see, it's not the best. So I'm not gonna be installing this in this video today, so sorry Chris, but let's not dwell on it. So let's move on to actually a Caffeine and Machine meet that I went to. Decided to bring the camera along to show you guys. So let's cut to past Olly at the Caffeine and Machine Type R meet. And it is absolutely freezing. So if you can see my breath, but the turnout for this Type R event that is in January is actually nuts. So I thought I'd show you what's actually decided to show up. So obviously this isn't what we're here for, but as it is here, we've got this, I think it's GTST R33, EP3, FK2, EP3. Look at this. It's got the B series in it. Got my car, you guys know this. And then there was an EP3 that was boosted here. Then we've got EP3 30th anniversary, as you can see by the seats, and the 30th anniversary sticker on the back. Super, super cool. Satin silver we've got here, and another red one. This is a facelift car, good plate. This whole row, a load of EP3s. Love to see it. Then over here, EP3, and then two FN2s. This one here with the pink calipers is actually bronze. Oh, you can kind of see it. Yeah, see that it's actually the bronze color, which I don't see many of. We've got this, which you'd be like, what? This isn't a Type R. But have a look at what is in the engine bay. Look at this thing. Absolutely crazy. Then we've got facelift JDM EP3. This is very interesting. So if you've seen my video with the facts, you will know, look, no indicator in the wing and no indicator on here because these don't have it, even though it is a facelift car and it's got the Recaros in there as well, but not the all red ones. But I'm going to tell you why. Part 2, got this FK2 here, got this EG, this very cool. Then we've got silver DC5, another car with some pink accents. It's pretty cool. Pink Brembos, pink stickers on the Yankee. Got this FN2, the Mugen wing just showing up. We've then got this musket track, the CP3. We've got racing seat, and you can see safety devices, cage in the back as well, with harnesses. There we go. And then we're going into the darkness now. Down here, got another FN2. Got this Civic here, this Civic. Got this Prelude here. I know these aren't technically Type Rs, but still very cool to see them out. Got this FK8, another EP3 up here. EP3 leaving by the sounds of it. We've got this FK2 here, another FK2. I mean, it is super dark here. Got EP3, is that EJ? I think. I mean, it's even I can't really see. What you're seeing on camera is brighter than what I can see in person. DC2, this is insane. This is a absolutely gorgeous FD2. Mugen decals on the side, RPF ones super low. I wish I could show you in more detail in the light. So good, so good, super low. Look at that. What a combo. Another EP3. We've got FL5, the only FL5 that is here. And we've got some other miscellaneous Civics hiding away at the back here. It's almost like they've been banished back here, but it's cool that there's so many people in Hondas have shown up. So we've got this here as well. Again, I can't really see anything. I think this looks like it's got carbon bonnet. I'm actually looking through the viewfinder because I can see better through that than I can with my own eyes. Yeah, super cool. It's got a load of carbon bits. It's got a massive wing on the back as well. Lexan windows. Super cool. And we've got this Porsche here, super random. We've got this bagged car, huge devil wing on the back as well. Crazy. Got FN2 here as well. And we've got this S2000 here, which is so sick. On the Volk wheels, got the factory little spats just there. And yeah, lowered. Look how much better it looks lowered. I cannot wait to lower mine one day it will happen. Got Del Sol here. Got this Okay, swap, EK9. We've got a Euro R, Accord Euro R, super cool. There was another S2000 here, but I think it's gone. Yeah, and then we've got a couple of Jazzes here, and then FN2s there as well. Nearly 7 o'clock, people are starting to roll out, and I think I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna try and get back, as it is absolutely freezing. Shout out to everyone that I had a conversation with at the Cafe and Machine meet, that was rad. And so that is gonna do it for all of the MINNIE mods. Do you approve? Don't forget to comment down below what you think of MINNIE. Huge shout out to Plate King for sponsoring the channel. Don't forget to use my discount code OLLYP3 to get yourself 10% off on their website. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from the cars, and let me know if you want to see more of MINNIE in the videos as well. Like this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.